Hi there, it's Creamer Baby from Keeper's Nursery. It's the 21st of September 2023 and I am going to try and eat loads of apples. In this video I'm basically just going to walk through the nursery. There's about just over 600 trees behind me. I'm not going to try every apple because I'm not mad, and truth be told, this is the third attempt at filming this today because I'm really bad at using cameras. I've eaten a lot of apples already, but I don't know, I'm just going to try and get it done today. Anyway, so we're going to try loads of apples. I'm just going to talk about them, but I'm not going to do all of them. Let's go, round one. So this is Crimson Crisp. Crimson Crisp is crimson and crisp. It is it's a sort of dense modern variety. Oops, sorry, the flinching because I've eaten a lot of apples today. Well, it's got really sort of tough skin, tough texture. It has got quite a nice flavour to it. I'm being a bit harsh because I've eaten too many apples, but that is a good apple, Crimson Crisp. A lot of sweetness, not too much acidity. The second one, oh look at that, that's from earlier today. This is Laxton's Fortune, which is still somehow good on the tree. I'm not going to eat any more today, but it's a sweet apple. It's juicy. It's I will eat some more. It's more floral than Crimson Crisp. There you go. Now I remember somehow. Oh great, I can just use the apples I picked earlier. This one, no, I'll pick a nice one. This is only funny for me because I'm living through this. Oh, there's the apple. Yeah, so Ribston Pippin. This is Ribston Pippin. Ribston Pippin's a very nice apple. It's sort of, I think it's sort of the parent of Cox, but I think Margil is as well. There's sort of debate about that right now. Ribston Pippin is very nice, and it has got much more depth of flavour than the first two, which all sort of Cox apples have. It's very pretty, but yeah, really, the difference in flavour is, you know, between a sort of modern type, well, anything that is a Cox has got loads of extra flavour to it. I don't know where that flavour comes from, but it's like layers. It's a depth which, you know, some apples don't have. So one that doesn't have a great deal of flavour, but it's quite nice, refreshing. It's got a slight aniseed flavour, scrumptious. Yeah, it's juicy. I think the aniseedness comes in the skin. Looks like there's another storm due over there. We've basically gone through some weird weather in Kent recently. It's been very hot and dry throughout September, and suddenly this week we've had 40 millimeters of rain, bucket loads. This is American Mother. It's alright. It's got that slight coxy depth of flavour. Sort of prefer it to Scrumptious, but Scrumptious is very nice. You get very nice red tips on the new branches. This is Granny Smith. Not that great. I'm just checking that it's actually filming. Reverend Wilkes. Quite a ghostly pale apple compared to my dark complexion anyway. We go on, there's Red Falstaff. Can't believe I've done this 3 times today. Red Falstaff is, it's dense, it's got acidity, but it has actually got some nice flavour underneath that acidity as well. Lord Lambourne. Nice summer apple. As in like late summer apple. Juicy. Alright. It's a Spartan, it's not quite ready yet. Sorry if you can hear my children are back now, so they're screaming. Spartan, now we go to Saturn here. I'm not going to bother eating Saturn. Saturn's quite nice. Saturn is, but again, it doesn't have that sort of coxy flavour to it. I tried one of these earlier. These are good. Oh, I chucked it. This is Jonagored Red, so it's very similar to Jonagored. Big old juicy apple, heavy, sort of really nice. I mean, it is just massive though. Yeah, very nice, but you can't, you know, it's not the kind of thing you just walk casually and eat. It's an investment of an apple. These lovely little guys, this is Pitmaston Pineapple. this is how big they are. You know, these aren't like miniature apples, but very, very nice flavour. They're sort of dry like a russet, but it's got loads and loads of flavour in it. It's got a slight sort of pineapple flavour. Pitmaston Pineapple. This is one of my favourite apples, Claygate Pearmain. It's got quite a big eye on it, big open eye on it. It's not ready yet. So, sunrise is still somehow on the tree. In the last video I said, which you'll never see because it's got deleted annoyingly, that, yeah, sunrise is still on the tree somehow. Sunrise basically goes up a wave, and I know a lot about this apple because it was my favourite when I was growing up, because it's basically ripe in the summer. It's so crisp, and it was like, that's all I cared about. I wasn't really aware of sort of flavour. I was just like, yes, it's crisp, it's red, I'll have that. So sunrise sort of goes, it improves and it keeps its crispness, and it improves because it adds sweetness to it, and it improves and improves, and then it just falls off a cliff because it suddenly goes soft. It's a gamble to see, because I can't tell from this if it's actually going to be crispy or not. That one is perfect. That one, I think, yeah, the one on the floor here I tried earlier was just over the crest. It was rubbish, but this is actually really good. Probably eating about 10 apples, full apples today, but I'll carry on. I don't want to let this go, this is too good. Golden Delicious. Famous apple. It's actually quite nice if you grow it yourself. I was in a bad mood when that last video got deleted, but now I'm in a great mood because I'm just eating apples again. This waxy beauty is Lady Sudeley. It's I don't know, it's not me, it's just, it's alright. Summer apple, it's not my favourite. Sturmer Pippin is quite nice as a late apple, so I'm going to switch to this mode. This is Shenandoah. I tried one earlier, they're not quite ripe yet, but this is a really, really nice apple. Not even, well, this is actually even nicer. This is Freyberg here, so it's this yellow guy up here. This is a terrible angle, but yeah, oh, there's a better angle of it. Freyberg, oh, it is such a nice sweet apple. It's a kiwi apple, as in it's from New Zealand, not a hairy brown thing. Sorry, I've eaten a lot of apples, so I've got windy pops. I'm gonna skip loads of apples because yeah, this is Jonathan. Jonathan's not ready yet. Sorry. This is Opalescent. Opalescent's not ready, but Opalescent's quite pretty. It's got these big, so I don't even know where the camera is. These big lenticels, look at them. Opalescent's kind of funny like that. This one here is Fertile Cox. Hello. So this is one of the first Cox ones we've come across today. There was a Flanders Cox somewhere which was really good. I tried in the last video. Yeah, and that one's not as good as the Flanders, so I'm going to try and Flanders one, but Fertile Cox is a really nice apple. It's a self-fertile version of Cox's Orange Pippin. This is Gala, the famous Gala. Gala is quite good actually. It's sort of a sweet, juicy, sweet apple, which there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, this is Calville Blondie there. That sort of crowny ribness to it. Look at those eyes. Gorgeous thing. Next one along is our Dutch friend Elstar. Elstar is really nice. It's got that deep cavity. I believe it's called cavity. Just a really nice flavour to it. This kind of funny looking guy here. This is Mollies Delicious. This apple has got no acidity to it at all. So Mollies Delicious basically is just sweet. And the skin's kind of got a bitter and acidity flavour to it. Not like, it's nicer than Scrumptious, but it's crisp and juicy. Like fizzes when you bite it, it's so juicy. But that is, as my wife would say, that is banging right now. That is Oh, the kids would go nuts for this. I've eaten too many apples now, so sorry guys, I'm gonna have one more. I'm like the guy on the bar crawl that just keeps going with these apples until I'm gonna deal with it tomorrow morning. I'm determined. This is Discovery, so it's a sort of flat apple. It's quite nice, Discovery. It's quite famous. It's that sort of late August apple which is consistently good. Yeah, and this one's still good. And it's got pink inside. Hey, everyone likes that. Sunset here. Sunset's not quite ready yet. Just wasted that one. Yeah, Sunset's not quite ready yet, but Sunset is a very good apple as well. Decent, solid apple. I'm trying to find that Flanders Cox, to be honest. This is George Carpenter. With Holden, which is too ripe, but George Carpenter's alright. So here we go. This is Egremont Russet. So Egremont Russet is that sort of very nice. It's like the standard russet. It's russeted all over. It's like a pure golden. Some people even call it a weird looking potato, but it is pure golden all over. It's drier than a sort of, let's call it a standard apple, like these red dessert apples that people have, but it's got lovely aroma, lovely sweetness to it. It is not quite ready, but yeah, it's once you start appreciating russets, people sort of, you know, they're impressed because they're like, oh, you know about apples. I don't know what the equivalent with wines is. I was trying to think of something. This is Miller's Seedling, which is still somehow on the tree. I'll put the bad one. It is somehow still good. Somehow. It's been on the tree since sort of early August. Cox's Orange Pippin tree there, which is... We've got another Cox's Orange Pippin tree, but that was the replacement one because our other one died and we had to have one in this part of the collection, and I think it's on M9, so it's not growing very well. Note to set, well, it's my dad, but don't grow M9s next to M26s, it'll never do as well. This is Jester, very pretty apple. It's alright actually. Yeah, again, it's really pretty. I don't know why we don't produce more of them. Whoa! Apples to trip over. This one here is Margil. So Margil is a sort of like French Cox guy. Apparently it's the parent of Cox's Orange Pippin, and it obviously has the same rich depths of flavour. Yum, 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 yum. Very nice apple. And Sturmer Pippin next door is... I think I did Sturmer Pippin already in this video. Late season apple. Greensleeves is here. Oh, this is terrible filming. Oh, so I'll show you in a sec. Nouveau Golden Hills, which is a greensleeve seedling. Okay. Good to know my filling is working. Yep. Golden Hills is better than Greensleeves, in my opinion. But Greensleeves is good. One of these red apples again, with red on the inside. This is red sauce, so this one is really sharp, but it can make red sauce. Yes, you got it right. Oh, sharp. Oh. Off camera, hopefully. Oh, that hurt. Oh, Worcester's, I believe he says. Yes, Worcester Pearmain here. We'll try Worcester. Worcester's a nice early season apple, quite popular. It's not like a Cox. It's not got all the flavour, but it's sort of sweet. It's juicy. I bite like, rather than bite like this, I bite like this, just so maybe it looks better on camera. Yeah, Worcester's right. Camera's still rolling. Oh, yes, this is Falstaff. Falstaff is very much like a red Falstaff. Red Falstaff is actually a red sport of Falstaff, so it's a mutation of this guy. I think I've gone past Flanders Cox, but anyway, Flanders Cox was really good. That will never be seen. Let's push on. Nope, don't want to talk about them. There's John Apple. I find that name hilarious. This is Red Windsor, and Red Windsor is banging right now because I tried this earlier and I really, really liked it. So this year is quite a bad year for apples, in my opinion. Actually, I like it, genuinely is. 2022 was quite good. 2021 was awful as well. But so some years things like Red Windsors will just be pants, and I will, I'll question which guy thought this was a good apple, because some of these apples have got AGMs and they've got history, and we sell lots of them and people know them. And these aren't the obviously Granny Smith and Golden Delicious and Gala are well known all over the world, but the ones that people grow in their gardens. And then on a good year, a Red Windsor is just like 5-star. It's a good apple. So anyway, this is a good year. It's a good year. It's a Grand Cru year. Oh, Moneydell's here. Anyway, bye bye. Moneydell. No, they don't look great. No. Should be red. Oh, there's one. With mold on. But yeah, Moneydell is a big, delicious apple. It's mouldy. I don't know if I've done James Grieve. James Grieve, the Scottish apple, it's alright. Summary. There's Egremont Russet again. There's the funny looking Adams Pearmain. See if I can find another one. Oh, pointy. Yeah, if you do grow Red Windsor and Egremont Russet, they are going to be small trees. Just bear that in mind. They're not blessed with sort of vigour, so you end up with a small tree regardless of what rootstock you plant. Well, obviously if you plant M25, but it won't be sort of branchy. That's Topaz. Topaz is a nice sort of disease-resistant Czech variety. Yeah, we crack on. There is another James Grieve. That's quite a nice looking apple. There is our friend Mr. Brayburn, which won't be ripe until never, because it does ripen eventually in England, but not really. There's a real storm over there. Ooh. Okay, so here we come. So there's here we come to a good bit. Yeah, so we've got Limelight here, which I'm not going to bother eating because it wasn't actually that nice yet. It does improve. Very pale. Next to the Red Devil. Rah! Red Devil's another one of these. It's pink inside. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's alright. Red Devil's actually alright. Exaggerate. This one here was something else a few weeks ago. It's a mouldy one, but let's find a good one. This is called Red Sleeves. Not green sleeves, it's red sleeves. And red sleeves, yeah, that was the one I tried earlier. Red sleeves was really banging the other day, but it's not very good anymore. Yeah, it's alright actually. Very pretty apple, completely red all over, which is unusual. I thought until I produced my own one, which was red all over. Because they tend to sometimes have a bit of russet on, a bit of... The red team, red usually is a sort of red flush or red stripes over green. So for example, on this Norfolk Royal, you see this yellow bit. The red's actually a red flush over yellow, so it starts off yellow and then it goes red. And if you see it under here where it was in the shade, it's all green. But then this one here, which is all in the sun, is all red. Anyway, Norfolk Royal is not great, but somehow the mutation Norfolk Royal Russet, the Russet Sport, is amazing. Hard to propagate for some reason. I have issues with it, but yeah, it is. It's a really nice apple, which we'll get to. So I'm going to rush through a bit because I'm really full. This is Winter Gem, a gem in winter, not ready yet, so we won't try that today. So I've gone that far already. Got a little bit more. You've been watching for 21 minutes. Congratulations. You're the only person to have watched this far. And we come up to, a really good apple. This is Rubinet. So Rubinet is a Swiss apple. So it is, it's got this nice long stalk. It's kind of round actually, apart from that. Yeah, it's just a really, it can get scab, I think, but the flavour is sublime. Yeah, there aren't many like that actually. There's a Rubinet Rosso, which I can't actually propagate because it's under license, and I don't have the license. That's a bad one. I'll pick a better one. This is one of my favourites. This is Captain Kidd, Captain of the Apples. So Kidd's Orange Red, which was bred by James Hatton Kidd in New Zealand, another kiwi apple, which doesn't taste like kiwis. This one is better than Kidd's Orange Red. It is really good. So James Hatton Kidd also produced Freyberg, which I mentioned, the yellow one, which wasn't right. That one is sort of late October, November. That one is really nice. This one's an earlier one, but this one has a pear drops flavour. That one doesn't, but this is like a Cox, I don't know what he crossed actually, Cox something. Hasn't got the pear drops flavour yet, in a few weeks. Us breeders, well, I say us, I'm not really a breeder, but breeders aren't too imaginative. They're like, ooh, let's mix Cox with Golden Delicious, and then the next one comes along, he's like, I'm going to mix Cox with Golden Delicious, and then somehow we end up with loads of nice apples. But imagine if someone did a different cross. This is little Francis. That's right. This is Jupiter. So this is someone bred Cox's Orange Pippin and made Jupiter, named after the planet. It's got a little wonky stalk, that's how you know it's Jupiter. And sometimes it gets a little bump here as well. Not sure the camera picks this up, but it's alright, it's not quite ready yet. Hasn't got the same flavour as Cox. This lovely guy up here, this is Holstein, like the cow. Holstein Friesian. Big old triploid guy, but it's a very nice juicy apple. It's got that really nice refreshing apple juice flavour to it. We're almost done with this row. So, bending them early, still somehow on the tree. Lovely apple actually. I probably started picking these in sort of early August. We'll see if it's alright. It's not gonna be alright. No, it's finished, but it's had a good innings, Bennett, and it stays on the tree and it looks lovely actually. It doesn't go mouldy. So when I was talking about earlier, so these are the Nouveau varieties that are from Marden locally. This is Golden Hills, which is my favourite one. It's Greensleeves. It's like Greensleeves is sort of has a bit of flavour. This is delightfully sweet and nice. Very pale. It's got dark green leaves, so it's kind of ghostly in appearance. This one here is Nouveau Freckles. Got a cute name to it. Can produce sort of good fruit and then occasionally bad fruit. At its best, it's good. That's not quite as it should be. And over this beauty is Rika. Rika means paradise in Czech. It's a very, very nice apple. These are some of the ballerina trees. They don't produce like the best fruit, but they're interesting to look at. So these are some more Czechs. Meteor and Bennett and Ruckler. These are the grafted rootstock rows for next year's trees. Oh yeah, lesson learnt, go around the outside. This is not the first time I've done this video. There is better light on the outside of the row. Okay, so out on the last row, there's some real obscure stuff here. So here is Crimson Peasgood. Big, sorry my camera works awful. Big old apple, look at the size of that. Look at the size of these things. Not going to eat them though. So on this row we've got some interesting stuff, but one of the daddy apples I mentioned earlier, one of the good ones, is Norfolk Royal Russet. It's got a bit of russet, but which is quite nice because it's kind of got deep red and then gold. It's really royal looking. It's so much better than the Norfolk Royal. Yeah, that's just about right. And it's got, I think it's like the perfect balanced apple flavour. It's not too sharp. It's not without acidity. It's got a nice aroma to it. Good texture. It's sort of, it's not dense. Sort of, it's juicy, but it's light as well. So I really, really like this apple. It's just tricky to propagate for some reason. If you know, you know. It's a good apple. Gloucester 69, big one. Big one now. We'll march on. So here's one of these yummy, yummy Czech varieties. It's quite a big apple. It's called Rubinola. We produce these. This is a triploid. It's no, sorry, it's not a triploid. Beg your pardon. It's a tip bearer. Produces a massive tree though, a bit like a triploid. So nice. It's got creamy yellow flesh, which actually won't go brown if you leave it out in the sun. Like if I leave this on the ground for like a week, it will stay this colour, which is mad. So like cookers tend to go brown, you know, if you peel your brown leaves, you chop them up to make a pie, a crumble, they go brown instantly. This just doesn't. So it's got like a lot of underlying vitamin C to it, but it's got loads of sweetness. And the reason I know it's got loads of vitamin C and acidity underlying in that flavour, because you don't taste it when you eat it, it's because when I bred from this, all the seedlings are really tart, like really tart. This one seems to be like the miracle child. But it is really, really nice. I cannot recommend this one enough, and it will produce a big tree, but it is a sort of disease-resistant variety, so you know that's worth having in your collection of trees. I'm gonna have another, but I'm really full. We crack on. Yeah, that one's just right. It's sort of got the sweetness. Here's one of the russets. That is an Egremont Russet. Oh, I didn't pick St Edmund's Pippin this time. There's a really nice apple that I missed called St Edmund's Pippin, which is another one of the russets. But yeah, this is Herefordshire Russet, which produces a nice tree. They're not quite ripe. I'm not going to eat this one actually, but they are very nice apples when they are ripe. probably slightly juicier than a Egremont Russet. So Egremont Russet, I'd say, would taste nicer. St Edmund's Pippin is sweeter, but that one produces quite a nice tree if you want to, especially when it's espalier. These are a little collection of cider apples. This is Tremlett's Bitter, Cider Lady's Finger, Star of Devon. Apologies for the accent. 10 Commandments, which has got the red. Oh, okay, you have to cut it with a knife and being thick. It's got little red dots in it. This one tastes disgusting. This is Médaille d'Or. Like golden medal in French. And it's like eating an ashtray. It's so bitter. I don't know what kind of cider it makes, but it is strong. Oh. Wow. Oh. It gets under your gums, it's so strong. Powerful stuff. Nom 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 nom. Nope. Okay, so moving on. There is a very nice apple here by the name of Hamid's apple, which is one of my seedlings. It's the first one that I've sort of registered. And it is just so happens to be ripe because I tried one earlier and it was really, really, really good. So usually they're a bit redder than this. This one's been in the shade underneath its big neighbours. Yeah, what can I say? It's the best apple in the world. Yeah, it is actually really good. So this one. So I'm just trying to think how to describe it. This apple, it's got the sort of texture that I like. It's sort of juicy, but light. So it's not dense like one of these mad new varieties like Jazz or something. It doesn't have that thick skin. It's got a lovely balance of flavour to it as well. So I was talking about the Norfolk Royal Russet. A bit like that. It's not the same, but it has got a bit of acidity, a bit of fragrance, a bit of sweetness to it, which I just think is really good. And it's very pretty. It's sort of red all over, tiny bit of russet. There's another tree of it for the original grafted tree where all the apples are completely red on it. They're quite pretty actually. So I'll probably make a side video about that one in coming days, I reckon, because if it's ripe, it's ripe. You know, gotta act now. The other seedling which we have here is Bethan, which is my wife's apple, or the apple that I named after her. Yeah, so Bethan is an earlier one, so this will be literally one of the last ones of the season. Oh, it's banging today. This has got a lot more flavour than that Hamid's one down there. The Hamid's on that tree were not as good as they have grown on the M9. This is just all sorts of flavour. This has got, it's just about to lose its crisp edge, so I've caught this just before it will go, but this is full of flavour, this Bethan. I might pick the other one for my wife. And hopefully this video doesn't get deleted, because otherwise there are no more apples to do a video with. Okay, I'm going to race through the last few. This one here is, oh, this is hard work. So this is Rosette, which is, talk about discovery, this is the red sport, so this is the red mutation of, dark red mutation of discovery, and lo and behold, oh my goodness, it's completely red inside. So yeah, it's completely red inside. Sorry, I shouldn't throw that away. Yeah, it's quite nice. It does get that sort of, I might give one to my children. It does get quite sort of bitter and sort of usually the red flesh, as cool as it looks, does sort of have another character which comes along, which is sort of in my opinion, not the best flavour. It can be acidic and stuff. So, you know, just be warned if you want it. Yeah, I mean, we don't produce them, but you can get them from like Matthews. But yeah, it's quite cool to make red juice if you want to make red juice. Speaking of red, it's Red Delicious. Delicious. So these little ones, appies, look at these tiny little guys. They, I was picking these in April a few years ago when we had a mild winter. So that's mad, isn't it? Yes, it is. Thank you for answering. So we're just finishing. There's not much left to do. Oh, it's not a lady's finger. Never mind. Okay, so the last one I was going to show, or the last few, are all the way up here. So, okay, there's not a single jumbo this year. Never mind, that's Seedling. Seedling is quite a nice apple. And this is Sweet Society. We finish on Sweet Society, which is it's a relatively new apple. Oh. Don't know what to say. It sort of pales in comparison to a Bethan. That's all I can say. Okay, this is way more flavour, but to be fair, I got lucky. This one actually turned out to be going back to Bethan, boasting about my own stuff. It was an openly pollinated Riker seedling, but apparently it's Sunrise and Riker, which is cool. Okay, hopefully I don't delete this video before I upload it. Thank you for watching. 37 minutes, well done. Go have a cup of tea. Thank you for watching, and I'll make more videos as and when. Bye bye.